Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the Most Offensive Podcast. I'm Slimmy V, and today topic is to vote or not to vote. That is the question. Let me start out with to vote. Number one, you have your God-given American right to vote. People have fought and died. Blood was spilt, sweat came from the brows in order for you to vote. Go out there and exercise that right. You have the right to vote for Biden, and you have your God-given right to vote for Trump. I personally don't care who you vote for. Okay? And I don't think people should give you grief about who you pick to become president. I don't think it should be a secret as to whom you want to become the president of the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. Okay? But if you do pick, don't make it emotional. Don't make it an emotional pick. I think you should kind of list the do's and don'ts of each. Look at each of their policies. See what fits you and your family. And then according to that, you make your choice. That's it. It's simple. No one should be beating you up, calling you names because you chose to vote for Biden. No one should be calling you a sellout or an Uncle Tom or a coon for choosing to vote Donald Trump. That's your right. Yours alone. You by yourself. When you get in that booth, you make that choice. That's right. It's going to be you and the lover. So that is your choice to vote. Now let me answer the question. To not vote. Guess what? That's also your choice. If you do not want to vote, that is your choice. If you don't want to vote and you choose neither, right? You are sending the country a message. What message is that, Slim? Well, the message is none of you guys do it for me. None of you guys make me happy. None of you guys are good for my future. Right? You're sending them a message. So don't let people give you grief because you didn't choose any candidate, because you didn't vote. It is what it is. Now, I was like that. I used to think that way. I used to say, you know what? I'm going to hold out my vote, right? I've never really held out my vote. It's something that I've thought of and I have threatened. Why? Because your vote is like $1. It has value. And I believe the product that's out there needs to earn my dollar or my vote. What do you have to offer me? I will withhold this until you show me a policy or something on paper that you are going to support me. Okay? So the debates, we need debates because that's a job interview. We're going to ask you certain questions, and depending on how you answer those questions, it will put in my mind like, okay, this person is qualified for the job, you know. Not necessarily might be for the country, but it might be for me and my legacy. I'm allowed to be selfish. Okay? And, you know, knowing that 50 Cent says because of Joe Biden's tax plan, he's going with Trump. Hey, you're going to hate him for this? Did you see that tax plan, though? Right? Don't hate him for that. So, again, if you choose to not vote, that is your choice. I'm not going to give you haymakers about it. I'm not going to give you hell. I ain't going to curse you out. I won't do that. All right? I do realize one thing, though. When you choose to not vote, people vote for you. That's the only thing. If you're not worried about that, do you. Handle your business. If you're not worried about that people are going to pick the candidate for you, okay. But that's just it. That's the only issue with it. If you do not vote, they pick for you. Okay. Many people are mad about what Ice Cube is doing. Ice Cube is doing what I've thought of doing for years. Work with who is in office. Whoever is voted in, you work with it. You get hired to do a job. You may not like the boss, but you're going to try to negotiate your salary, right? You may not see eye to eye with him or her, whoever is in charge. But you're going to negotiate. Whether you think he's a racist, whether you think he don't like you, whether you think they don't think you're qualified for the job, you're still going to negotiate a raise, right? So this is what Ice Cube is doing. He has a list. He came. This is what we want. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? So Kanye was vouching for Trump. Why did he vouch for Trump? Because he says 85 to 90% of the times people vote Democrat. You blindly vote in Democrat every single time, every 4 years, every 2 years, without knowing what's in store for you. And sometimes you need to make people kind of suffer. Sometimes you need to withhold your vote. Sometimes you got to just say, hey, look, I ain't voting until I see something that's on there that's for me. Something that's going to represent my family, something that's going to represent my peoples. Because I see other peoples being represented on there. Where's me? You know what I'm saying? Where is me? All right. So this is what I think. Vote for what you believe in. Think about it. I'm against this voting early stuff because we haven't even had a third debate yet. What the hell you voting for? You know what I mean? I think P. Diddy is coming out with like this black party or something like. I thought about that, but then I've also thought deeply and said, wait a minute, we only make 13% of the population. What exactly are we doing here? So I also thought about that. There's a lot of things that's going on with this voting and stuff. I think deeply. You know, you're going to choose what? McDonald's or you're going to choose Burger King, right? Which one? Or, you're allowed to say, you know what? I don't like none of them. They both bad for my heart anyway. They both going to give me high cholesterol anyway. They both going to raise my blood pressure anyway. They both going to give me diabetes anyway. So why you getting mad at me if I don't choose none? You understand? So I'm also going to add this to it, that an entrepreneur, a person of business mind, can and will survive any presidential candidate. No matter what, you'll figure it out. You're an entrepreneur. You know how to do business. You know how to make the money work for you instead of you working for the money. I'm not going to call you names. We can be friends. We don't have to agree with who we're going to vote for. Or we can have a nice discussion. We don't have to hate each other for it. That don't have to split and divide us as a nation. All right? We are the United States of America. Okay? And anyway, if you're not offended, you probably wasn't listening. This is the most offensive podcast. I am Slimmy V. God bless, stress less, and let Yahweh do the rest. I'm out. Peace.